Hi again with another video. Okay, so just to show you really quickly, we've got all our track feeds connected, as you can see from there. And what I've done, I've color coded everything. Normally in the past I've used one color wire, which doesn't make sense. So for example, the green wire, which you can see here, the green wire is the feed for track 1, which is that track there, and then next to it on the far right, the red wires are for track 2. And by putting the feed there, as you can see, I've marked in pencil. I already knew with some advice where to put things, because the thing about this layout is, guys, I did ask some advice about this. Of all my years of model rail experience, this is the first layout I've ever built with diamonds, obviously in the middle there, and with quite a lot of point work. And although I was roughly sure where I should put the wires, it's always good to get advice. So after consulting many things and many people, good old Model Railway Solutions, shout out to Model Railway Solutions in Poole in Dorset, the team and the shop that built this baseboard for me, or designed the baseboard kit that I put together. Gave them the ring, and they were extremely helpful on the phone. I think it was Joe I spoke to. Anyways, one of the shop staff spoke to me and they said, this is basically what you need to do. Put the feed anywhere on the bottom 3 foot squares in. So you count 3 squares underneath the baseboard, and roughly between the level crossing and the toe end of those switches, in that area is where you put the feed, which is where I've put it. And everything does work 100% well. There's no shorts, no feedback, nothing. The whole layout's powered from those 2 points. So there and there is where we take our power to the track, and the whole layout is now powered and energized when you plug everything in. Anyway, what else have I done? Oh yeah, just a quick update as well. I promise you I will do a running video very soon. Just haven't at the time, what with having COVID and bits and pieces. Anyway, I will get round to it. As you can see here, this little bit of rough patch you can see in the shot there, if you can make out from the last video, that's originally the original route of where the curve used to go. As you can see, today I lifted that up, took all the underlay up and relayed it with second radius curves, which are these much bit more friendlier curve sections here. The 605s I just think are ghastly, and unfortunately there's not much that will run on a first radius Hornby R605 curve. I was having a few problems the other day with it, and I thought, you know what, it doesn't look right, and obviously I'm going to have problems with running my stock. So what I did, I looked in the track box, and I had some quite an amount of R607 third radius curves. Sorry, second radius curves, excuse me. Yeah, R607 second radius curves. So what we've done at this end of the layout up here, where that point is, that set of switches there, unfortunately, because of the design, we had to use a couple of R605 first radius curves, 1, 2, 3, 4 on either side of those, that switch there, to make up that half of the curve. But the rest of the layout, we've got these much better second radius curves, R607s and 09s as well. So this will make a huge difference going around here. As you can see, the course of the old track bed has been lifted, and they've now put fresh underlay underneath there. That's all done, that's all drying. So that's all in and dried and pinned down, and it looks better. I've tested it for clearances, it's perfectly fine. The only thing I'm a little bit upset about, guys, I don't know why, again, just impulse buying. Sometimes you do these things and you don't really measure and plan, but I wanted to cheat when it comes to a tunnel, and on a well-known auction site, I think they're German, Knock, don't knock it, NOCH, Knock, they're the scenic people, that make a lot of European stuff. Anyway, they had this lovely, beautiful tunnel that I got. It was a curved tunnel, and unfortunately the thing's massive and it will not fit on the layout. So I'm going to have to go back and basically design my own tunnel. So I'm thinking from where my finger is, from here to there, put a nice little tunnel there, build something. But yeah, that's about it. What else did we do? Oh yeah, we changed the side in here. So basically we added a little bit longer. It originally was about here. We added a little bit on the end because this, as you can see, where the original track bed would have kicked out around here, that's where usually it would stopped about there. But now we've got a little bit of space, we were able to extend it a lot more longer. So there'll definitely be a room for a platform here or here. What else? Oh yeah, we put the ash pit in over the weekend. Or the other day before I felt the effects of COVID. So this is recycled from the old layout. So this inspection pit is from Bentley Park, my old layout, and I wasn't going to chuck it away because it's a good bit of track work. So that's in now, nice and flush with the cork, ready to dress it with some scenic material around here. But yeah, really happy with that. So that'll be for the steam locos. I'm debating whether to add some more for that one and that one. I'm not too sure yet, but they are really nice to go in. And when I flip the baseboard over in a minute to show you my wiring, you'll see what I mean. So what I'll do, again, sorry about the layout being on my bed at the moment, but when it's up and running, it'll have the legs on and it will go over the bed, but it will be clear of the bed and it will run nice and level and sturdy, and we get some trains running. Anyway, until then, I'll just pause this video so I can upend the baseboard and show you the wiring, and then I'll say goodbye. Okay, so stay tuned, don't go away, back in a second. So there we are, as mentioned, that's the other side of the baseboard, and that's the bottom of the ash pit or the inspection pit. And you can see, look how nicely that's gone. Nice and flush to the baseboard there. And although this 6mm ply top is extremely sturdy, it's really nice to cut through for stuff like this. I was expecting to do some damage, but in actual fact, with the careful use of the Dremel and the steel rule, that made quite a nice job of that. And again, there's no damage to the cross members. They're nice and tight in there. There's no damage. All I did was I took a sanding attachment to the Dremel and just slightly trimmed on top of that cross member there, so it fits in snugly underneath. Again, I just cut two parallel lines after marking them out with a steel rule, and then I took my Dremel with a cutting attachment, and then I took some sticky tape and put the steel rule against the marker line where I marked out for the inspection pit to go, and just use that as a guide and just carefully cut along both lines, and then at the ends just sanded off underneath. As you can see, I'm very pleased with that. Anyway, on to the final part of the video before I say goodbye. Wiring, here we go. Nice and simple. So, as mentioned, one of the lessons I learned from Bentley Park, my old layout, which is if you go on the channel here and skip through my videos, you'll find loads of videos of the old layout. But I kept this really simple, this one. So we've got, obviously, it's upside down, can't see the shot because I've written it, and the board's facing the other way. So everything in the shot is upside down because the board's the other way. Basically, you've got the green wire for track 1, which is G, and R is for red wire track 2. And I've got these terminal blocks, and all I've done, I've hot glued them to the inside of the baseboard frame. And I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but what I've done there, I'll try and get in that shot for you guys. Hang on. Is it going to allow me to do it? Yes, it will. Right. If you can see that there, on those end of those green wires, I've made some tags. So they can go nicely in that terminal block without the wires getting crushed or twisted and broken off. Because sometimes, even if you solder the end of a wire to put in a terminal block. With constant screwing and unscrewing the screw sometimes, it can actually fray the wire and end up disintegrating it, and you don't get 100% power through the wire. So what I've done, I just took some simple little small tack nails and I soldered the wire to the end of the tack nail to make a little pin to push in the hole, and it accepts that nicely with the screw in there, nice and tight. And it's a plug and play system basically. So what I've done, that's just glue on there, keep the wires. What I've done basically is to have these little nails on the end of the wires that push into those terminal block holes and just nip the screws up gently. And it's a plug and play system, so they are on there permanently. But the idea is, when we put the control panel in, the wires have got exactly identical tags on the end with little nails, little pins. So they again will push into those holes, do the screws up, 1, 2, 3, 4, just gently lift them up. They'll hold there very, very tightly and secure. And then when you finish at the end of the day, unscrew the 4 screws, gently pull the wires out, unbolt the control panel from here and there, and it's put away and job done. And then obviously the opposite when you set it up. So it's a plug and play system I've designed, very, very simple, nothing too fancy. At the moment it looks pretty bare because it's just the track feeds in there, but at some point there will be additional wiring going in for things like point motors, perhaps some lights, I don't know yet. Again, this is a semi-permanent layout, which means it's not permanent, which means it has to rest up against my wardrobe when not in use. So I have to be careful about what I put on the top of the baseboard within reason. But we can still put some lighting, I suppose, in some of the buildings, I don't know. There's space for that anyway. But the other thing I forgot to mention as well is that we're having a control site, excuse me, after effects of bloody COVID. We're having that control panel and everything on this side. And I forgot to mention that. And why are we going to have it on that side? Well, it makes sense because we've got all of our, where is it now? Lower this down with one hand. We've got all our points on that side. So whether we put point motors in or not, we are going to put point motors in. But for the meantime, at least I'll be able to reach the points comfortably and operate them manually for the time being, rather than have to stretch out all the way over the other side. And that makes things easier. So that's why we've got our control feed there, and the control panel is going to be this side as well, which makes sense. Anyway, that is that, guys. So the next video, hopefully you'll see something running. I'm hoping possibly this weekend, if I'm feeling up to it, I'll start weathering the track, as I've got my supplies to do that. It's just getting around to doing it. Anyway, thanks for watching the video today. Thanks for the viewing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff. And I really appreciate your views today. And thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you soon in another model railway video. All the best. Bye bye.